So hi there Reefers, welcome back to another episode of Dreaming Reef. So last week I've shown you guys a tour of the entire fish room. So today we will be sharing with you guys on all the different types of feeds that we feed in all three different tanks. So first up, let us walk you guys through into the feeds that I am using for all these three tanks. So the first compartment chamber is where I keep all of my different types of feeds. So we have the TDO Pellets, we have this First Bites, the Veggie Pellets. This is mainly for all my herbivore fishes. I have the Nori Clip by Julian Brown. So this is the 2 Little Fishies Sea Veggies. I like this a lot. I also have, this is from Vitalis. This is the Vitalis grazing diet. They come in this donut form, but then if I put the entire donut form in, right, it's a little bit too much, so I tend to break them up into smaller pieces and to give it once in a while. So aside from that, things that I feed my coral with, right, I do give my corals the Reef Nutrition A and B. And then aside from that, I also give this. So it's like a 5-in-1 coral food. It's mainly a phytoplankton solution, so, or you can call it a green water. So I use this and Reef roids to dose with, to mix them together, and as well with the A and the B to give my corals all the nutrition that they need. Okay, so first up we move over to feeding the very simple stuff, which is the TDO. So this is by far one of my favorite food so far. So I've tried a lot of different types of pellets. I've tried the Ocean Nutrition. I've tried a lot of different other brands. I really like the TDO a lot, especially for clownfish, because this is somehow it's really good. You can really see the colors do pop a lot when you feed this to clownfish. So I use this for this tank over here, as well as the smaller 14-gallon and also the large 150-gallon. So this, just let me move it somewhere, clip it on for you guys so I can give you guys a better view of it. Just give me a moment. I'll adjust this on a stand for you, just to see how well I can do this. Just give me a moment, Okay, so I've no idea if you guys can see so far. So this itself, it's pretty easy. You just take out a bit. Yeah, so I've gotten the S size pellets, so it's pretty small. If you guys can see the pellets, so they are actually a very small fine grain pellets. The reason why I use very small fine grain pellets is because that most of my fishes are that small, so this is why I usually give them very small pellets. So I usually just take a bit and I will just put it on to the tank. So I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, majority of them goes really crazy with the TDO pellets. So they tend to like the pellets very well. And if you guys can see, after a couple of months of eating the TDO pellets, right, the clown's orange in them really does show a big difference. So you can see my both snow castles, their orange in them is really insane due to this ingredient that they have in TDO, which it states here. I cannot remember what is the astaxanthin. So this is what we know it used good for, to give up reds. So if you want to boost red colors, orange colors for fish, right, the astaxanthin is one thing that you should have in your food. So it really helps to bring up a lot of the orange, the red colors in your pellets. So we move over next to our 14-gallon. So just let me lay the camera down for you guys. So yes, so over here I have the yellow tank that previously is from the tank. So the yellow tank likes this as well. So like the TDO, you can feed them to all different types of fish. So the yellow tank loves the TDO pellet as well too. So you can see over here, he is eating really well with the TDO. Okay, and usually what I do is my remaining pellets, right, I will usually just dump all of them in to this tank for all of the chromices and all the other fish here. So these guys here are like scavengers, they take almost every sort of food that I dump into the tank. So aside from TDO, we move over to the next type. Okay, so I will not be giving you guys all the different types of feeds. I'm just going to show you guys the different types that I give, but I will not feed everything today. So this is the veggie pellets. So the reason why I have a veggie pellets, right, is due to the ingredient base is a little bit different. So this is really mainly more for all the herbivore fishes, while this over here is a overall balance. So try to look for fish feed with very high protein levels. So like for TDO, it has 49%, which is really high. Usually on an average, you get them about 40%, which is very good. And let's say for the herbivore pellets, right, you can see it's only like 20%. So this is really mainly more for herbivore. You do not want to use this as your main feed because it doesn't really seem to give you much food, like much protein for most of your stuff. So I feed this same thing for all the 3 tanks. So I give these guys as well, just mainly for the purple tank. And the same thing goes for the other 2 tanks. I do give the yellow tank the herbivore diet as well. So same for the yellow tank, I do drop in this herbivore diet. So yeah, this guy is a little bit slow. So he's not as aggressive as the other guy, or maybe he's a little bit full from all the food that we are giving. Yeah, but if once he spot the food, he will just go on to all of it. And the same goes to these guys over here. So these guys here as well gets the veggie pellets. So okay, so aside from this, right, so this is the 2 main food that I give to my fishes on a day-to-day basis. And then the veggies is something, the veggies and the other stuff here is mainly a lot of supplements that I give only on Sunday. So okay, so aside from all this, right, let's talk a bit about this tank. So this tank is a fish only with 2 eels. So today will be the first time that you guys will be seeing a feed of my 2 eels. The zebra here, which is Sephora, and then the tessellata here, which is Nagini. So we will be showing you guys the feeding for these 2 eels and what do I feed in this tank. So mainly this is a not really a predator tank, but it's a fish only system. So I do give them a lot of frozen food here. So first thing over here, this is a mixture of Mysis. There is Artemia or brine stream inside. There's cut streams, and then it's just normal seawater, and I added in vitamin C and garlic into this solution. So this is what I use to feed for most of the angels and all of the fishes here. And the next thing is the larger frozen foods. So this is what we use to feed our eels. So usually I give them like market shrimps and cut squid. So usually the squid goes to the tessellata and the shrimp goes to the zebra. The reason why, because these are their favorite. Somehow the tessellata doesn't really like the shrimp, and then the zebra only takes the shrimp but doesn't take the squid. The squid only goes to one, and then the prawn goes to the other one. So yeah, so we will show you guys on the feeding of this. Alright, so without further ado, let me park this camera somewhere so you guys can see, and then we will start with the feed. So just let me grab the feeding stick. first up, we will be feeding the Mysis, the frozen food, into the tank first. So this is what I usually give majority of them. So this is what they get on a day-to-day basis. And then next we move over to the feeding of the 2 eels. So if you guys can see, I will try to show it to you guys a little bit. Let me zoom in a bit and just to give you guys a better view of the eels. Okay. So let's get and we will first give the shrimp. Shrimp goes in first. Takes a lot of time. Squid next. So and this is how I actually feed my eels. So for those of you guys who want to try and keep eels, right? Eels, they do have different types. So if you have a reef tank, not a fish only tank, a reef tank, the couple of eels that you guys can try are like the snowflake, the smaller, much more docile kind. Or if you want a larger eel, if you have a very large reef tank, you can go for the zebra. So my understanding about zebras is they really do not harm any of your marine life in your tanks. I've never seen them actually really going after anything before. So these guys are actually very good reef tanks candidate. Your tessellata by far is not recommended to be kept in reef, even with fishes, because these guys are very aggressive. Once they get very used to the reef, right, or your tank itself, they tend to be a lot more aggressive compared to the zebra. So I do not recommend the tessellata because firstly they can get very big. These guys can go up to like 4 feet, 5 feet in length. So most of the house tanks will not be able to cope them. And the next thing is that if you don't really take good care of your tessellata in terms of feeding them, training them from young, they tend to get very aggressive towards anything. So a couple of tips I can give to people who want to keep eels, right? Firstly, I do not recommend you to feed them any live food. So live food meaning you guys give like small guppies, goldfish, anything that is live for them to hunt. If you guys give your eels live food since young, chances are is that you will get them to be very aggressive as they grow older. Because they always tend to hunt things, chances are whatever you throw in the tank next is going to be food to them. So highly do not recommend you guys to feed them live food. And also for live food, the bad thing about it is because you never know what is in your live food. So in terms of let's say bacteria, diseases and all, right? You do not know what is in those guppies and goldfish. So you may be feeding a sick guppy or sick goldfish to your eels, and which will cause them to fall sick eventually. So I highly do not recommend live food. So like for me, I give them frozen shrimps, frozen clams, frozen mussels, frozen, what else is squid. So I try not to give frozen fish because firstly, I do not want them to be connected with fish. So if I feed them fish, chances are is if they see a live fish, they may go for it. So I try to feed them things that is not familiar in the tank, like squid, prawns and those other stuff where they don't find it very familiar to all the other fishy friends around it. So they don't try it before, they tend to not know, they tend to not have a chance to go after it. So the next thing that I actually did to protect my other fishes, right, is by adding a school of chromises. So like I've said before, I don't recommend live feed. So these chromis there are like a backup insurance. So if let's say if I ever forget to feed any of them, or if one of them gets a bit hungry and they tend to go for something, right? So chances are the chromis will go first. But then you have to always keep up with your feeding. So regularly you have to always feed all of your eels. Like for me, I feed them every alternate day. Even if they don't eat, right, I try. So if they don't eat, at least I try and just to keep their belly full. So if they are full, chances are is that they will stay within this area here and they will not go after any of my fishes. So this is why I can keep all these other fish with them. So the last thing that I will be feeding in this tank is the nori. So the same thing, just let me put down the camera first. So we have one piece of the nori here, which I just fold it into four. And then I'll take my veggie clip from two little fishes. And I'll just drop it in. Yep, so this is what I give really mainly for all of my herbivore fishes. So as you guys can see, most of my fishes here really do like nori. So nori is one of the favorite stuff of the tank. So they do enjoy this a lot. So this is a very good enrichment for them as well, just to give them something to munch on every day. And yeah. And with that saying, right, we have actually come to the end of the feeding tour of the entire fish room. So just give you guys a sneak peek for next week's update, right? So next week it will be a little bit special. Next week we are actually going into what is in the water parameters of all the three tanks. So yes, we will be talking about the main tank, the two smaller reef tanks, what will be in it, what I dose, what salt I use, what are the chemicals, the dosing, the brand, so forth and so on that I've been using to keep all three tanks running. So we'll be talking about water quality, we will be talking about the fish only system, what are the chemicals that I dose inside. Then I'm going to talk to you guys about the coral tanks, so the supplementation that I've been dosing, the foundation elements, the brand that I'm using, how I dose my tank, how regularly I dose my tank to keep all the corals thriving and alive and growing well. So the last thing that I will share with you guys, right, is that we are almost hitting 200 subscribers already. Yes, I know it's still a very small number, but I do see the channel climbing little bit by little bit. So the last time I checked, we are about at 193. So about another 7 or more of you guys who are watching this video right now and is not subscribing, right, please do hit that subscribe button below. So when we hit our 200 subscribers, right, I will do another giveaway for you guys, and just to appreciate and thank you guys for all the support from 2019 to 2020. So really hope you guys, we usually get about more than about 200 plus to about 300 views per video, and there's only about 190 of you guys that are subscribed to the channel. So if you are watching our channel and you are not subscribing to it, right, please do hit the subscribe button below, and I really appreciate all your feedbacks and your comments so far. You guys really help to grow and help me and help the team behind Dreaming Reef to actually build more content for you guys. So at the same time, we thank all our sponsors. We thank Supreme Corals, we thank Jackie and the team, as well as our next sponsor, Reef Market SG. Thank you, Nigel, for all the support for 2020 ahead. And for all of you guys who is in the community, in the hobbies, in the hobby trade, or even in this hobby, thank you all for all the support so far, and I hope that all these videos that I put up for you guys, it's really helpful or even entertaining for you guys to watch. So we'll be putting a lot more other entertaining and educational videos in 2020 ahead. And same thing, stay tuned for next week's water parameters dosing video. I will see you guys real soon. Have a great night and have a good day ahead.